The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
You know, Michael, I'm Catholic, and so for Catholics, we have this Lent thing, and we can't eat meat on Friday. It's Friday the 13th, so not only is it scary Friday the 13th stuff, but I'm not supposed to eat any meat. And I always tell my kids, listen, if I've made a Boston butt and we're halfway through dinner, don't remind me halfway through it that it's Friday, because I'm not going to stop eating. The Lord wants us to eat and wants us to nourish our bodies as well. So I continue to think that, and then we'll just won't eat anything on Saturday, or we'll fast on Saturday. But the thing that really is interesting about this time of the year is we have gone through our New Year's resolutions. Half of us, three-quarters of us haven't made it more than 12 or 13 days in those, whether it's saving money or losing weight or having better relationships or whatever. And then this is a time of preparing. We're preparing ourselves for the second coming. We're preparing ourselves for Jesus Christ to come out of the tomb. We know when the tomb is empty, it is filled, and we're waiting for him to come back after 3 days in what we call Easter. And I think this is a time of the year where we can look at some of the problems we've not only created and some of the things that we're not very good at because we aren't obedient, but we can start new habits. And one of those things about being habitual is habits can be really, really, really good. Habits can be really, really, really bad. Let's concentrate on the ones that are good. How can we start new habits, and how can we help the Heart of Alabama Food Bank?
Well, one of the things that is so difficult for people because we are surrounded by our own problems, and we tend to be inwardly focused on the issues that we have. And so sometimes when you're raising a family and you're just trying to make it at work, or you're trying to go for the promotion, or you're trying to be a leader in your family and your church and your community, whatever it is, sometimes it's just hard to have a perspective or have room for one more thing. And so, especially most people listening are probably not people who have to wrestle with food insecurity. But just in our 35 counties, we're talking about 269,000, right, 270,000 people who don't have enough food. And with the war that's broken out, this is not a commentary about that war, pro or against. But we have a temporary spike in the oil prices, and I think it'll come back down once the war kind of settles down. But right now it's a temporary spike. So you go back anytime something like that happens. I always go back to the situation to where people are wrestling with making ends meet, and when they now they have to pay 20% more for gas, at least for the next few weeks. That money has to come from somewhere when there's no extra. And lots of times it's going to involve cutting back at groceries, or cutting back on, sometimes maybe you get less cookies, but sometimes it's, we're not going to get protein at night, or I'm not going to be able to pack your lunch, or you're going to get less produce or less fruit. So it can affect a lot of people. And then that translates into emotional strain for moms and dads, and hidden strain oftentimes for kids. So it begins to have an emotional and mental impact. And so right now, I know we're focused on the war. And again, this is not pro or against. It's simply the effect of it. When temporary inflation happens, it really hits a considerable amount of people. And let's just be mindful of that. That's who we're tasked to keep our eye on that prize, is to make sure that when people do encounter that, that there's a place where they can go and get safe, healthy, nutritious food for themselves and their families to help them through times of crisis. So that's what we do. We're at the Heart of Alabama Food Bank, hafb.org. If we have listeners, hey, for every dollar you donate, we are able to put 5 meals together through our donation system. And so, change somebody's life and get on board with us and start supporting what we do. If you're in another community outside of our 35 counties, I encourage you to support the food bank in your community.
Awesome.
But just make a difference. And that's an easy habit to start. One of the easy things you do is you can sign up to be a monthly donor, and it's just, hey, I pay it, I set it up to be monthly, and I forget about it. I don't have to worry about it anymore. It just happens automatically. So we make it real easy, but care for your community in different ways. Volunteer, get involved, take some time to take the focus off our inwardness, our inward struggles, and begin to look at how actual blessed we are in comparison to so many others.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.